Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Free Daily Coaching. Today is Wednesday, February 3rd, and we're here for another morning at freedailycoaching.com. My name is Bert Bledsoe. I'm with you Mondays through Friday at 7 a.m. Pacific, Pacific time. Would like to recommend that if you're here and you're watching via YouTube, or you may be watching the recording of the webinar, I would like to encourage you to go over and visit www.freedailycoaching.com. And that will give you the ability to register for the live webinar so that you can participate live. It will also give you the ability to get our live updates so that you can get our email updates and stay connected with us on a daily basis, so you know what it is we're doing and how we're working each morning in our home-based business, in our online business, so that we can share those lessons with you, so that we can share the training with you that we get each and every morning. So pretty excited to finally be back on the ranch here. As many of you know, I did a winter tour 2016 and went off to visit some family, to visit some friends out in Colorado, to speak in Colorado, and then to go and attend a live marketing event over in Las Vegas. So ultimately, the entire time frame on that trip was about 14 days. So pretty long trip. Just had gotten home on late Monday. So yesterday was pretty much a down day, right? Just a day of really just getting some things unpacked, getting kind of acclimated back to the house and to my wife and to the animals, and really resting, right? Resting and sleeping and getting ready for all of the work that we have coming up and that we have to do with you guys. So I did a Twist Your List Wednesday day today, because today's the last day of the launch for Twist Your List. Now, this is a product that was launched by a good friend of mine and a mentor of mine, Diane Hockman. And the reason I'm telling you guys about this, and I know you guys have been promoting it all week. You guys have been we're on Diane's webinar yesterday afternoon, and you guys have probably gotten information throughout the week about the product and about going out and promoting it. Well, the reason I'm going to stay promoting it all the way until the last minute, the reason I'm going to keep writing my email today all the way up until tonight, is because this is a method that I employed into my business that actually worked. This is one of the first methods that I actually started to use in my business and see real results, tangible results, not just getting the leads and generating leads, but then getting those leads to turn into sales, getting those leads to turn into actual clients and customers was an absolutely huge breakthrough. And it doesn't have to be a complicated process. It doesn't have to be pulling teeth from anyone. It could be a super simple process that actually works. So this morning we had I had a few different questions and some calls that people wanted to ask. So I wanted to bring over, I'm going to bring Steve over this morning. I know Steve had a couple questions. I'm going to bring Dr. Bob over here. We got Dr. Simons. So I'm going to bring Steve and Dr. Simons over. If there's anyone else that has a question, I want to get the questions answered now. Let's do this on Free Daily Coaching. What I've noticed is this. I've noticed that we have Free Daily Coaching. We also have the Friends of Free Daily Coaching. So we have a morning training that happens every single morning live, and we have a once a week paid group coaching. Yet none of these questions get raised in front of the group. They always get asked after the fact. So what happens is we do a daily coaching every single morning, and then we do the weekly coaching. But then what happens is everyone's reaching out to me individually, which is fine. It's not that I mind anyone reaching out to me individually. That's 100%. I'm fine with that. The point is that the questions that everyone is asking, they're not like technically advanced questions. They're not questions that would only apply to that one individual. They're questions that would apply to the whole entire group. So by not asking them in front of the group, by separating them off and just asking me, we're really denying everyone else in the group the ability to be able to have the answers to those questions. So I'm going to let everyone know this. I'm going to start limiting the amounts of phone calls and texting that I take in regards to questions that I've already answered on videos or that we've already done in Free Daily Coaching. So if you ask me a question that's something that we've already done on Free Daily Coaching or that we've already covered in a video, the first answer I'm going to do is tell you to go back and find the video. The second time that you ask me the question, I'm going to tell you that you have to come and ask me here at Free Daily Coaching or at Friends of Free Daily Coaching. And the reason is because most of the questions that I'm getting, I'm finding that they're going to be beneficial for everyone. And I feel bad because if I can't answer Steve's question today because I can't get on the phone with him, it's because I'm on the phone with 7 other people or 12 other people. And this is the crazy part. The 7 of the 12 other people asked me the exact same question that Steve asked, right? Everyone's asking the same question. They just want to know about it in their, let me bring you over, Whitman. They just want to know how to apply it in their business. So this is the format where we ask the questions, right? This is the place where we really want to ask the questions, because this is the place where in addition to getting the answer to your question, you're going to become a resource for others, because once you find the answer, you could come back to this YouTube video. Now you have a video to reference when someone asks you, go, oh, you know what? Just about 2 weeks ago I had that same question. Why don't you go and check out this video? There's an answer right here. Now everyone has a resource. Now you have a resource as well to be able to answer your question. So let's start with Steve. Steve, are you with us this morning? Steve, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Can you see us?
Yes, I can.
All right. We can't see you. We saw you were wearing a hockey jersey. That's all we saw. And then your camera went off. So, Steve, you had a couple questions for me in regards to, yours were specifically on how to respond to people, right? So people were reaching out to you. You were getting some leads, and then your question was in direct relationship with what's my direct response back to these people, correct?
Yeah, similar. Specifically, it was if I get a question from someone that basically says, okay, how long have you been doing this, and how many leads have you got? And being new and not having many leads or any sales, how do I truthfully ask or answer that question?
Well, I think that you answered it truthfully right there, and that's exactly what I would say. I would say, hey, you know what? I just got started, so I haven't made any sales yet, but what I did was I've got my marketing platform now in place, and I'm starting to generate leads, right? That's the honest answer. And then the real answer is, hey, I just got started. The guy that I work with, right? The guy that's showing me how to do this, he's generated now thousands of leads. He's quit his job. He does this full time, and he's making sales on a regular basis, right? So that's one answer. And it's a truthful answer, right? I'm just getting started, so I just started generating leads. I've gotten what? I got 24 leads. I've got 12 leads. I've got 4 leads. Whatever that number is, right? That's a real number. And you can tell in that real number, hey, I just got started. However, the people that I'm working with are doing X, Y, and Z, right? One of my mentors has been doing this for 15 years now, does mainly non-paid marketing strategies, and has been in profit for almost 20 years. That's pretty good, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's answer number 1, okay? That's to the nice person that's just inquisitive, like, well, hey, Steve, how are you doing? How many leads, right? Then you might get the person that's highly aggressive, that wants to know all the specifics about your business. Well, how much money are you making? Well, how many leads did you get yesterday? Well, blah, 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 blah. And they're very pointed and very aggressive with it. With those people, Steve, I just say something like this. Well, let me ask you a question really quick. Would that be okay? So I start by reversing it and saying, hey, before I answer your question, would it be okay if I asked you a question really quick? And then they're going to say yes, right?
Right.
And then I just turn it around on them. Like, let me give you an example. Let's say that Whitman came to me today and said, well, how much do you make every month and how many leads you're getting? I'd say, you know what, Whitman, that's a great question. Would it be okay if I asked you a question real quick? And then Whitman would say, yeah, sure. And I'd say, Whitman, if I started today, just today, if I just walked in today to a barbecue joint and said, I want to be a pit master, would I make as much as the guy that won the Memphis in May Grand Championship 3 times? No, I wouldn't, would I? Why? Because I don't have the experience and the knowledge and the skill set of the guy that won the barbecue championship 3 times, do I? Because I just got started. So the reason I'm giving you that example, Steve, for the turnaround is when someone asks me a pointed question like, well, how much money do you make or how many leads did you get? I can just ask them a simple question like, Steve, what does the number of leads that I generated yesterday have to do with what you will do? What is how much I earned last year? How does that have any relationship to what you'll do this year? If you don't have the same skill set and knowledge and experience as I did, then you wouldn't be expected to have the same results as I would you?
Right.
Right. So when you bring them to that conversation and you can explain that to them, then now all of a sudden it diffuses that, right? So it depends on how they're asking it. If they're asking it just as a real question, like genuinely, like, hey, dude, how's it working for you? Are you getting leads? Are you making sales? Then give them that. Like, hey, I'm just getting started. Use someone else as the reference. That's myself, Diane, Rob Four, Ray Higdon, right? Use us as the example of the expertise and the results. And then if on the other side of that coin, if you have the person that's like not just asking to ask, but they're asking to like provoke a response from you, right? They're trying to elicit that response. Don't allow that response to be elicited. Simply turn it around and say, hey, what would my results have to do with yours? Because that would be like you, Steve, coming to me today and going, well, Bert, I heard on a webinar last night that you made $2,000 last week and I made 0. What's the freaking deal, bro? Well, here's the deal, dude. I've been doing this for 3.5 years. I've been talking to people every single day for 3.5 years. I've been building that list. I've been building a relationship. I've been showing up every single morning on free daily coaching. Right? So that's a regularity that people know I'm going to be here. People know that even if I take a day off, even if I'm gone for 2 or 3 days, this is real. Debbie Deerdorf, Chris Schaus, Clive Jeffrey, Whitman, Leanne, right? Elizabeth Summers, Dale, Craig Kassler, people that have been coming to free daily coaching for a long time, they know that even if it was like a weird Monday and I'm not there, or all of a sudden if something happens on a Wednesday, they know that the next day that they can come back that I'm going to be here. They know that I'm not just drifting off into anywhere, to nowhere, right? So because of that regularity that I've built up, I've built some trust. Because of that trust, people when people know, like, and trust you, they'll purchase from you, right? So the amount of people that I have purchasing from me is going to be different than you, Steve, just because of the time that we've been doing it. Right? Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, it does.
Does that make sense, the answer? Okay, so this is a good lesson, Steve. And maybe you're experiencing this and maybe you're not, but this is how I experienced it. So let me explain how I experienced it, and if anyone else experiences this, maybe this will be the solution for you. Have you ever been on the computer or on the phone with a prospect or with someone that you're sharing some kind of business opportunity, and they ask you a question and your response is kind of like either A, fearful, or B, it's like agitated, right? Have you had that response when people ask you a question? Like you're either A, you're fearful, or B, you're agitated. And let me explain. The reason we're fearful is because we think that we're not going to give them the right answer to get them to take the action we want to take. That's why we're in fear. And the agitation is that we feel as if they're questioning us, like it's like we're being untrustworthy. Like, well, what do you mean? Why would I tell you this? Like, of course I'm going to give you good stuff, right? Like we're almost agitated with the answer. Now, think about it this way. What if the person on the other end of the computer, what if the person on the other end of the phone was asking the question to you simply because they didn't know? That's it. What if they just simply didn't know and they're like, hey, Steve, what, like, are you doing is it working for you? Not like, oh, is it working for you? See, we're thinking of it like that, like they're questioning us. What if they're just like, hey, dude, how's that working for you? Right? So you really got to think about the question is just don't put any emotional attachment to it. Don't put your feelings, what you think they're feeling. Don't put any of that to it. Just take it as a question. Right? Steve, how old are you? What, does this guy think I'm old, like a grandpa? What, I'm like a great-grandpa? What is this guy asking me? How come why is he asking me how old I am? Because I have gray hair and my goatee? Because I'm bald? What's this guy's freaking problem? No, dude. What if he just wanted to know how old you are? That's it. He just wanted to know because he was going to send you a happy birthday card next year. And he wanted to know that you were 56. Excuse my bad word. Right? That's it. That's the only thing. So what if the questions that people are asking us are just so that they can get adequate information so they could make a decision? Right? So think about that when these people are asking you the question. And then, so think about this. When you think about it like that, Steve, it's not a trick question. Right? When they're like, well, what? So think about it. When they say, well, how many leads have you generated? Well, there's no trick to it. Just be honest. Well, I've only generated 6, but I just got started. Right? Or I've only generated a half a dozen, but the guy that I'm working with is showing me on a regular basis how to start building this, and he's generated thousands. So I believe that if I keep on following the steps that he took, I'll be able to get those results as well. That's a real answer, right? Because Steve, guess what? That's what I told people when I started. Right? When people used to ask me, they were like, oh, that's great, Bert, but what have you done? And I'm like, well, this is exactly what I said. I'm just getting started. But the guys I'm working with, they're top enrollers in their MLM. They're making commissions every single day. They're making sales, and I believe that if I just follow what they're showing me to do, that I'll get those results as well. And the reason I believe that is because literally I'm using a system that thousands of people use, and I can see hundreds of examples of people that have achieved massive success using this system, using this platform. Now, that's all truthful and that's all real. And then now I gave the person that asked the question to me, Steve, all of that information so that they can now make their choice. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
All right. Did I sufficiently answer the question? Do you feel like now you could go back to that person and have a conversation?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so this is Steve. The reason I did this, and same for you, Doc, and same for Whitman. I don't want you guys to feel like I'm calling you out or that you guys did anything incorrectly. You guys did exactly what we talked about. But I've answered these questions so many times on the phone, like on the same day, that I'm like, dude, I should have just had Steve and Cheryl and Tom all conference in because I did a call with Steve and I hang up and Cheryl calls me and it's the exact same call. And I'm like, did I just have this call? And then I hang up with Cheryl and Tom will call me 3 hours later and not exact question, like not verbatim, but close enough that one answer would have sufficed. So the reason that I want you guys to bring these questions over to 3D Elite Coaching is because here's the reality. The reality is Steve probably doesn't want to say the question in front of everyone else because he doesn't want to feel like he doesn't have the same amount of information as everyone else, right? He doesn't want to feel less knowledgeable. He doesn't want other people to go, oh, look, Steve doesn't know that. But this is the reality. Probably 90% of the people that are watching the video right now this morning, that are watching the replay, or that are here live, have the exact same question. They're just too afraid to ask it. That's the reality. And how do I know? Because I spend my day answering the same question on the phone every day. So I know everyone has the question. So from now on, when it's these types of questions, when it's not specific to you, like if Whitman called me and said, Bert, I'm going to the Louisville Barbecue Championship next Tuesday at 7 p.m., and this is the funnel I created for a specific blue ribbon barbecue sauce funnel, blah, 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 that was specific just to Whitman, then that would be a call that I should answer and function just with Whitman. But if Whitman calls me and says, I want to make a sales funnel, then my response to Whitman should be, have you seen the videos that we've done on all the sales funnel building? Yes? Okay, great. Go watch those again and then write down the specific question you have, and tomorrow on Free Daily Coaching, come and ask that question so that everyone can see the answer. Because chances are, if you've watched all the videos, just like everyone else, and you still have this question, probably everybody has that question. Does that make sense to everyone? This is, when we started Free Daily Coaching, it used to be more interactive, and it used to be more interactive like this. Not just everyone in the chat going, hey, good morning, Whitman. Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Debbie. Like, just go to Facebook and say freaking good morning. That's what it's for. It's social media, right? The interaction we're supposed to be having here on Free Daily Coaching is supposed to be business-based. Chris Schaus doesn't come every Friday and interview a featured friend of Free Daily Coaching just because she's got nothing to do on Friday mornings. She does it because she wants to recognize that there's people doing something in business, right? So she brings them out, she features them, she asks them questions, she interviews them, and gives them that exposure. Not because she couldn't, because what if Chris could just do a show about Chris Schaus on Friday every day and be the Schaus in the House show and just feature herself? But the reason that we do this, the reason that Free Daily Coaching exists, is so that we have this team interaction, so that we're working as a group, right? Just like the syndication group that Chris started up, the idea of doing Free Daily Coaching is that we're a community, that we're like a team. And the cool part is that we're all on different teams. Clive Jeffrey and I just both happen to have the same referring member to My Lead System Pro, right? Clive and I don't work together in some other company. Leanne Levy, not in My Lead System Pro with me. Whitman, not in My Lead System Pro with me. Debbie, not in MLSP with me, right? Janice, not in MLSP with me, right? Len, not in MLSP with me. A lot of the people that are here at Free Daily Coaching are in all kinds of different MLMs. They're in all kinds of different teams. But when we're here at Free Daily Coaching, we're like our own team. This is a team of all kinds of different people that are all from different teams. And if you look around, if you just actually look around in our Free Daily Coaching team, who's part of Free Daily Coaching? This is real, guys. This is a compliment. We're all the misfits. We're all the people that don't fit on all the other teams. Because if you fit in your team, you wouldn't be over here with me. Think about it. We've got our own team. Why? Why do we have this team of us misfits? Because we're the team of people that are like, you know what? I'm not going to do it like everyone else. I'm not going to follow all this nonsense bullshit that they're telling us that we have to do, because it's bullshit. We don't have to do all that. You know why? Because I've seen in the last couple days hundreds of people getting free leads following my mentor. Meanwhile, there's 3 or 4 people on the internet that go, hey, you can't generate leads for free. Hey, you can't go into Facebook groups and do that. Hey, who's teaching this? Right? Meanwhile, there's 3 people on the internet that are yelling about how it's impossible, how it doesn't work. And while that's happening, hundreds of people are out generating leads. I saw a post yesterday from a guy that generated 287 leads using free marketing techniques that he learned from Diane Hockman. 287 leads, guys and gals. If you did 10 a day, that's how much you'd get in the end of a month. This guy did it within like a day or 2. Does it work? Yeah, it works. Are you willing to take the action? I don't know. I don't know. Because when you say that you did it, I don't know what you did, right? Everyone says they did the work. But I don't see the results from people that are doing the work. Because check this out, some of the doing the work, the results come. Like if you said you did the work, I would know if you did the work because you'd actually have a result to show. If you don't have a result to show, I'm wondering what did you actually do, right? Let me give an example. If you were on Facebook yesterday for more than 4 hours and you don't have at least 4 leads, that's only 1 lead an hour, from your time on Facebook yesterday, you did something wrong. Let me say that again. If you were on Facebook yesterday, I'm going to look right in so you know this. If you were on Facebook yesterday for 4 hours and you did not generate at a minimum of 4 leads, I want you to know you did it wrong. 100%, absolutely. You don't have to feel bad about it, but know inside you did it wrong. The behavior, the actions that you take, absolutely 100% have to change. Because if you're spending 4 hours of your day on a social media platform and you're not either making sales or generating leads, there's an issue. Because that's like a half of a workday that you just screwed around. That's real. If you don't know what to say, personally message me and I'll hook you up with a video that shows you how to go out and do this. Or better yet, if you're generating leads right now and you're starting to build the leads and you've used the 5-5-5 method and you're like, hey, I'm starting to generate some leads. Now what do I do? Now what you do is go get the exact training that I got. Right? That's what you do. That's the next step. People are like, oh, well, why are you trying to... I'm not trying to sell you anything. I'm trying to tell you to go exactly to where I went to learn the next step. The next step in this process, I learned how to generate leads for free. All right, cool. Now I've got all these people. Now what do I say? I had the same question. Now what do I say? Where did I go? I went to Diane Hockman and I said, hey, what do I say to these people now? Right? And this is before she had this program. Before she had Twist Your List, I just had to go one-on-one phone calls, training with her, right? And just take notes about everything she said. It wasn't as organized. It wasn't in order. Now it's right here in order, shows you step by step what to do. How to go and twist your list. How to actually get your list of the people that you started to get on your email list now, how to have them respond, right? Let me give you a great example. People like Elizabeth Summers, who's been building her list, this is going to be that perfect addition for her. Why? Well, she's been building her list, and she's been emailing out. I know, because I'm on most of your guys' lists, right? So I know if you're doing it or not. How do I know? Well, because I get an email from Elizabeth every day. Not every single day, but I get her emails. And I know she's been promoting Twist Your List. Right? I know Steve's been promoting Twist Your List. How do I know? Because on social media, I see it. So the next step to this for you guys is to be able to go and check out something like Twist Your List. And then the next step past that is to take that and parlay that into promoting it. What do you say? What would you say about some training from Diane? If you didn't have any experience, hey, my mentor trained with this lady, and one single move that he learned from this lady changed his entire business. Do you see how that's way different than what you could post that everyone else is posting on Facebook? Because anyone can go grab the swipe copy, right? Anyone could do that. What could you say about it that would be different? Right? What could you say about it that would be different? What's your connection to Diane? Maybe you don't have a direct connection. Do you have a direct connection to her because you've worked with her or bought a product? Maybe not. What's your other connection? That you use the same marketing platform as her. What's another connection? That one of her students is your mentor. What's another connection? One of her best friends is your mentor. What's another connection? One of her best friends and students holds a daily training that you attend every single day. What's another connection? That she's going to be doing a webinar tonight that they could be invited to. So do you see? Do you see how you could find a different connection than just, hey, I'm going to put up the copy swipe that everyone else is putting up? Because if Whitman puts up the same post essentially as Steve puts up 15 minutes later, do you think that anyone that's looking at that post, do you think after like the third or fourth time they see that they're just going to skip by it? Yeah. Right? Like, Steve, what if you took a picture of your jersey, right? And you put a picture of it up on your wall and said, I don't want to choke like the Vikings, right? So I'm going to twist my list. I'm not saying that that's the greatest like copy, but I'm saying, would you get some attention from that? I think so. If you put, I don't want to choke like the Vikings, and a picture of the Vikings, people are going to respond. Who cares how, as long as they respond? This is like being a little kid. You know that little kid that wants the negative attention, and the parents are like, don't give them any attention because they just want any attention they can get. That's what we want here. All right? The only type of negative attention is the kind if you're like stealing people's money or not following through. And as long as you don't do that here in this world, you won't get the negative attention. So take the exposure any way you can get it, right? And you don't that was just an example because you're wearing the Vikings jersey, right? Like think about how you could get someone's attention besides just putting up the standard swipe copy that everyone's using. What's your connection? What's your unique take? How could you twist it to your advantage here? All right, so that was Steve's question that we beat into the dust. The Hangout might just shut off. If it does, it's because the timer things are starting to work now. So when you set it up for a half hour, they shut off. So let's jump over to Dr. Robert. Doc, what was your question for me that we could answer in front of everyone? Or did I already answer it? This is the part where we can't hear Dr. Simons and we get to dub smash him. I'm a doctor. Oh, now he's not looking up so we can't see what his lips are doing. I was going to make like a song for him. Right? He's like, hi, I'm Dr. Robert Simons, and today on my webinar, I'm going to show you how to use microphones. Today we'll be reviewing the Blue Yeti microphone. As you can tell, I'm in Japan right now, and we're subtitling all of my videos. All right, we'll come back to the doc when he gets his microphone working. Doc, it's probably up top on your settings, and let's go jump over. Whitman, did you have a question this morning?
Now, can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Great. I think you answered the question because I was a little late getting on. But what I've experienced this week with the swipe and headlines is that Facebook copies and checks every line of text that you put out there, and when multiple people are doing this, you get that big block message. So
right.
Well, I ran into that thing several times this week. So what I learned and found out, you just go in there and mess with the text, twist it around a little bit, and you won't run into those problems.
Well, that's exactly right.
Want to share that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And the thing about what Whitman was talking about is that what happens is Facebook sees like 20,000 people all post the same link at once. So they say, hey, there must be something weird going on. There must be something like shady going on. Or the same sentence or the same thing gets posted. So is swipe copy awesome? Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great tool. It's a great thing to make things go faster. When it's not awesome is when everyone and their grandma is using it, right? That's when it's not awesome. And sorry. Like Robert's camera, he's like up in there, so it like distorted his face on my camera. I was like, wow, that's fun. So the point is that when you're on Facebook and you're using swipe copy or using a common link that everyone's using, if you just start using the link that everyone's spamming out on this Wednesday, right? Wednesdays you'll notice it, especially on the MLSP link, because check this out. No one promotes the link all week, and then all of a sudden Wednesday everyone's trying to promote it. So this is the crazy part. If you go on Monday and actually post the link, it'll get posted, everything will be fine, right? It won't get blocked. Then post it again on Tuesday, everything's fine, it won't get blocked. Then on Wednesday, instead of going and posting that post again, just go share and boost the posts that you already have up because they're already up and approved, right? And then that way you can get around this, getting all your posts blocked all the time because everyone's putting the same exact link up on the same day at the same time. Good question, and hopefully we answered it. Yes. All right, hey, maybe Doc, maybe you can just go put it over into the chat. Since we can't hear you. Oh, his mic's not working. Yeah, use your own words. It's exactly right. Just use your words. Talk the way that you would talk to someone. Say it in the way that you would say it instead of trying to you know, you guys know when I talk, I just use my words. I just talk the way I talk. I don't try to like corporate it up or do anything different, right? I don't try to use new words that and talk in a way that I normally wouldn't talk. I just simply use the same verbiage that I'm using regularly. So let me look and see, because I know that a lot of you guys text me as well. So let me go and look in here, see if I can find.
Hey, Bert, this is Steve.
Go ahead, Steve.
One other thing I found out, and I believe you were the one that told me, when you get that message from Facebook, I went into Pretty Links and made a link to that location, and Facebook took that, no problems.
Yeah. So you can create a Pretty Link easy, because it's giving it, the Pretty Link is via like a .com, right? So it's a whole different link. So they when you put that link up, it's not getting blocked because it's not that standard link that everyone put, right? It's not like that, that CanFed link that like 27,000 people put that day. So they're not blocking it because it's not like a big warning on that one to say, hey, something's going on. So let's see if Dr. Simon's got his mic working. Did it work now? Robert, up at the top of the window in the Hangout, there's like a couple different icons. There's like a person, a microphone, a camera, a little like adjustable bandwidth, and a gear. If you click on the gear and the second one down, make sure that is selected to the right microphone, and then hit save. That will maybe turn on your microphone. And if not, we'll bring Doc Simons back tomorrow, and we'll answer. Obviously, I'll answer his question today individually. However, I'll with him, but we'll bring him back tomorrow. Make sure that we can get the technical glitch out, and then we'll answer the question in front of everyone. So, and this is key, everyone. I want this to be a real thing, so that you guys realize that this idea of asking the questions and answering and doing this in front of everyone. This really is the reason that we do this, is really so that we can give the benefit to everyone, right? So everyone actually gets the benefit of this, and you're not just I'm not just doing the work 17 times and giving you one answer, but everyone's getting the answer. And this way you can see that when we talk to different people, how you're gonna answer is gonna be a little bit different than maybe say how Steve's gonna answer, or Whitman, or Janice, or Chris, or Beth, or Dale, right? So, or Craig, or Debbie. So everyone's it's gonna be a little bit different of an answer, but it's gonna be in your own words. So we'll get some sound going. We'll get Dr. Bob over here. We'll get him answered up this morning on a one-on-one. Then we'll get him over, and if not live, then I'll get you the question that he asked, and then we'll answer that question again in front of everyone live. And as we're building, I'm finishing up a couple projects, guys, that I've been working on for some clients. And as the new Friends of Free Daily Coaching is getting built, and the framework is up now, so I just have to get the episodes transferred over. We'll have a little area back in the new members area of Free Daily Coaching where you could literally send in a question, and so we could have a little box where question and answers could be sent in during the week, like just if you're back in the back office and you had a question, so that during our weekly sessions I can go in and pull up those questions, and we can make sure on a weekly basis that all of those questions get answered. So hopefully that will be completed up here in the next hopefully week or so here, so that you guys we can access that. And then in the members area, just shortly here in a little bit, I'll get the new link up for this month for February, starting today, for our Friends of Free Daily Coaching work sessions. And if you have any questions, as always, guys, just shoot them over to me. We'll get them answered as soon as possible. I want to say thanks to Whitman, Dr. Simons, and Steve for coming over today and participating live, getting those questions out there so that we could answer them, so that you guys could see that everyone has the exact same questions. They're the same questions I asked when I was getting started. They're the same questions that you guys and gals are going to be asking, and the key is to ask them as soon as you get the question, let's ask it so we can answer the question so that you can move forward, so that you can keep building your business. Thanks for stopping by here at www.freedailycoaching.com. I want to invite you to join us each and every Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Pacific time. Remember, on Fridays, we have a special episode. We feature Chris Schaus in the house, having a featured friend of Friends of Free Daily Coaching. You want to be there Friday morning, 7 a.m. Pacific. We'll see you guys the next time. And just so you guys know, Steve and Whitman and Doc Simons, I just sent everyone over, just so you guys know where I sent everyone today, over to the Twist Your List link, because today's the last day to be able to grab that to be, to start with everyone else. So if you're interested in that, you can go to treb.twistyourlistpro.com, and that's where the Twist Your List link is if you haven't already got that. So that's it, guys. We'll see you the next time.
Thanks.
Doc, I'll call you in like 5 minutes and answer your question since we couldn't do it on the Hangout.